Hey guys, welcome back to another deep dive podcast. I have the wrong thing up there. Oh well, deep dive podcast, not haunts. Tonight's guest is Matthew from Nightmare Explorers. He is currently with us. Thank you so much for
You're
joining.
welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I did a
Awesome.
podcast with him about 3 weeks ago for our
Okay.
team that is airing tonight. He told me it's dropping now as we speak on YouTube. So you guys can make sure
Okay.
that you go check that out. What is your YouTube?
Nightmare Explorers.
All right. So go
Cool.
check that out. Give him a follow, a subscribe on that page, if you will. Check out that. Um, Upcoming things that we have going on. Wednesday night, we are going to review McPike Mansion. That'll be an awesome review. Some of the footage that we've got from that and the EVPs are kind of crazy already. We have
Yeah.
pictures that actually have legitimate orbs in
Oh,
them. When I was watching my videos the other day, actually saw a um, legitimate orbs up by Tim that he hasn't even got to see. I haven't even talked to him about it.
cool.
Pretty interesting. So we'll be talking about that. Also, next Sunday, April 12th, we will have Kate from the Spirits of Marco on. She is going to be our first location podcast. So you guys can come on and learn more about the Spirits of Marco, where they're located. That is going to be a very information filled podcast. She sent me quite a bit of information in the bio, so we'll be chatting about that. Sorry, Instagram, if y'all aren't seeing all of us the way we need to be. There's quite a few of us on. And if you leave a
Yeah.
comment on Instagram, we cannot see it, but I will check once the podcast is over. All right. So, yeah, those are the next two that we have coming up. We will not be having a podcast tomorrow night. Tomorrow is Easter. I hope y'all enjoy your family, whatever it is that you guys do, and however you guys um, celebrate that day. Misty says, "Hey guys," she had fat fingers, so I just did the second one. Misty is also a team
Misty.
member.
Hey,
All right,
Misty.
welcome in everybody. Make sure you guys say hi. Matthew, tell us about you, who you are, what your team is, what you guys do, and all of
All
that.
right. Anyway, so I'm Matthew Willis. I'm one of the founders of Nightmare Explorers. We started our team, oh God, a couple of years ago, July of 2024, I believe. The main two team members at the time were my daughter and I, and we just kind of really got into the paranormal by watching, paranormal videos on YouTube. I did some investigations with my friend Grady of Grey Duck Paranormal and just kind of really, got a passion for the paranormal and the history of locations and kind of just really went from there. It's just like, formed a team and kind of, had the rough patches and, the good and the bad of the paranormal, but just here we are. I don't really know what else to say.
How many people are on your team?
So right now we have 4.
Okay.
And like the original team when we started, we had like 8 or 9, which was a good number. But again, if you go to bigger, smaller locations, it's like it gets to be a lot.
It
Mm-hmm.
does. It does for sure. Any special abilities on anybody on your team?
There is not. There's been said that my daughter, she does possibly have abilities that she's kind of tapping into, but nothing really solid.
Okay.
What kind of abilities?
So it's just like she can sense like presence. So I don't know if it's like a mediumship type of ability. As I said, she's just kind of honing in on that
Hmm.
and seeing if that's really what it is. But she just kind of seems to get the most interaction out of anybody on the team.
Right. Well, that's cool. I hope that she does, go further in it and, doesn't get scared by it or whatever, but, like truly figures out
Mhm.
what her abilities and what her gifts are.
Sure.
That would be really good for her,
Right.
especially when she gets older. Misty wants to know how it is investigating with family.
It is. It can be challenging because living with each other, you're around each other all the time, but then being on the road and investigating is kind of like you want to be separate at times. So like when we go into locations, a lot of the time we're investigating together, but sometimes we separate and like, she'll go off with other people we're investigating with just to kind of keep our distance so we don't get on her nerves. But it's definitely rewarding though.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's like that for Tim and I as well. Like I like to go hang out with Tim because he finds a lot of stuff, but also at the same time, I'm really good with going with other team members and
Yeah.
letting everybody else go with him to like
Okay.
figure out stuff,
Exactly.
Yeah. Because I know that there are times where he's like, grr, and I'm like, grr.
For sure. It's
So
like,
it is good to have that little
and
separation.
especially,
Sure.
being on the road with the teenager, it's like, you try to be dad and you try to be funny, but she goes, that's not
Sure.
funny. It's like, just shut up.
It's a dad joke. It is funny.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
Well, that's cool.
for sure. For sure, for sure. I actually have a couple of granddaughters that really want to go really bad. And I'm
Mhm.
like, well, first of all, there's a few things you got to learn before we even attempt to take you anywhere.
Oh
And
yeah.
you need to be a little bit older because um, I think once, because, like they watch a lot of the show YouTubers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not always like that. Sometimes it could be a little worse. And for me, I don't have anything against anybody. Like people know at what age is good for that person. But for
Right.
my granddaughters, I'm like, no, you're going to be older before you go. I'm not, I'm not going to be responsible for you being, 13 or whatever.
Right.
Like, just we're not.
Sure.
Um,
Like,
but like that's me, and it also depends on the maturity level and stuff like that. There's so many factors that go into it.
oh yeah.
I might take one of them and they do totally great, and it's like, okay, that's cool. Um, but I also told him, I'm like, we do a lot of things in the dark. There's not lights on, like the YouTubers show, and they're like, what? They're like in the dark, and I'm like, yeah, because
Mhm.
that's how you see things. And they're like, oh well, and I'm like, nope,
Mhm.
that right there, they're not quite ready yet.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's like my youngest daughter, she always talks about wanting to go on an investigation, and she's only 10. I'm like, I go, not until you're 12. We'll talk about it then because you're definitely not ready. You wouldn't make it 15 minutes in a place.
Sure.
unless you took the whole family and like mom was at a hotel room and if she freaked out, then she could leave the
True.
location for the night. But
Yeah.
if you drive 6-7 hours and there ain't no place to go, like that could be
Right.
that could be a really rough night.
Yeah.
Hey
So
guys, welcome in, welcome in. Thanks so much for joining. Again, if you're watching us from Instagram, thank you so much for joining. If you comment, we will follow up with those after the podcast is done because I can't read those well, I probably could. If I got on Instagram, I probably could. So let's just do it that way. Anyway, okay. Tim, do you have any questions?
So, Matthew, you told us how you got started, and then I think it's really cool that you guys are getting into paranormal. I'm a 14-year veteran in the paranormal. I've been doing this for a long time. So in our group, I'm the senior twice because I'm the oldest and also the most
yeah,
paranormal investigated the most. So tell me, you have an interesting name, Nightmare Paranormal. Is there a
Nightmare Explorer.
background to Nightmare?
Not really. So, when I decided, like when I was talking with my dad, I'm like, let's start a team. I gave her a list of like 8 or 9 different team names. So like I let her pick, and she's just like, none of these really are that good, but she goes, I like Nightmare Explorers. So it's like I let her pick, just kind of came up with, different things, something different where it's like, it's paranormal related, but you don't have the paranormal in it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, everybody that's in the paranormal, they're explorers in a sense. So it's like, want to do something with that. And it's like, you could look at the paranormal from a positive side or a negative side. And it's like, in a way it could be a nightmare. I don't know, it's just wanted something unique and stand out that was different.
Okay. That's really cool. 'Cause I didn't know if there was a backstory on it or not, or what. You got a cool logo. I like your logo. It's really neat.
No, it's kind of cool. I'm trying to come up with something a little different, more personalized, because like when we came up with that a couple years ago, it's AI generated, kind of like everything else. But
Sure.
but
So when you sure.
Go ahead.
No, so I would go ahead and talk about go ahead and keep going. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So yeah, I'm just kind of want to take a different spin on a logo, try to find like a local artist that come up with something that we could use just to make it more authentic.
Oh, I got you. So you've been doing this since July of 24. Tell me about.
Well, I actually started before that. I started in March of 24, and then we started the team in July of 24.
Okay. So tell me about your most interesting or place that you got into that you found the most experience or the most evidence, and a place you may go back to.
Probably for me, it would be Edinburgh Manor in Iowa. That's where I had my first investigation. It's like I had no idea what I was getting into. It's like that morning I almost backed out of going to the investigation.
Really?
But it's just like going there for the first time, got there, and it's like 5-10 minutes in, we were getting a tour by Cindy. My friend Grady Griffin and I, we look at each other and go, do you hear that? We heard like kids running down the hallway.
Oh, cool.
And there's just something when we left at 2:30 that morning, because my friend Grady, he had to catch a flight at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay. So we drove back that night, but it's like when I left him, like, I go, when do I get to do this again? And just like was drawn to that place. I've been there. It'll be my 7th time coming up in a couple weeks.
Wow. So that's your favorite location, would you say, out of everything that you've?
Yeah, and I've done in the last 2 years probably like 35 investigations, and it's like, there's just something about it's like I'll go there 2-3 times a year.
Wow. I haven't been to that one yet, but I will.
And I think
we will.
One of my craziest things that ever happened to me was Easter last year. We were down in one of my kids just threw something down the stairs. But we were down in the basement, and everybody was in the dining room area, and we're doing the ESTA session. And I heard something in the kitchen. I'm like, I'm gonna go over there and check it out. I don't know what it was, but there was like this loud banging. So I go over there, and what I found out, it was just like rain hitting the metal siding outside. But Tim, are you familiar with Edinburgh?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got the kitchen, or the kitchen area, then you got the hallway that goes to the office. And there's that other little hallway that goes out to the main hall. Well, off to my left, I heard my daughter go, "Dad." I'm like, I go, "What?" And she didn't answer. I go, "Natty, what do you want?" They go, she didn't say anything. There was something mimicking her voice off to my left, trying to lure me away. I'm just like, it was so unreal.
That's awesome. We need to go back. So
We do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Great location.
I haven't been yet, so.
You need to go.
Yeah, we definitely need we do need to go back for sure. Yeah. Kathy, do you have
So-
any questions? Oh, go ahead, Tim.
no, go ahead, Kathy. You got some?
Oh, no, go ahead, Tim. I'm okay.
No problem. So tell us about where other places you've been that have, I mean, everybody goes to the normal hotspots. Have you been to somewhere that kind of out of the way that no one else has been to, or possibly a residential area, something like that?
So, God, what was it? Back on February 28th, I think it was February 20th, there's a local house up here in Minneapolis that I think I told you about it, Brenda, that 3223 Bridgham house.
Possibly.
Yeah, it's like a newer location, and it's two guys that live there. They're not really renting it out for like overnight investigations. It's kind of like by an invite thing. And my daughter and I and a couple friends went there and investigated, and it was only from like 3 o'clock to 10 o'clock at night. And it's like a location that not many people have heard of. And it was a slower night, but I was just like started going through the evidence last night, trying to get caught up. And there's this piece of footage. Like, I've probably spent an hour and a half since last night watching this footage, like trying to wrap my head around what I caught. And I sent it to the co-host of my podcast, the guest we had on last night, her mom, my team member Courtney, and even my nephew, who's an investigator. Like, you guys tell me what you see in this 30-second clip. And there's like how the upstairs is like a hallway that goes into a bedroom at the end, and then these stairs that go down the kitchen. But at the top of the stairs, you see like what's a shadow figure, and it's like moving for like 30 seconds, and it just disappears down the stairs.
Wow.
And just trying to like wrap my head, I'm like, did I really just see that? And it's like, we didn't see it in the moment, but
Sure.
like watching the footage, this is like, oh my God. It's like, I go, Natty, you need to come in here right now and you tell me what you see. And the look on her face, and she just like jumped back. She's like, oh my God.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah,
It's hard
it
to
was
get,
just like,
hard to get an apparition. That's hard.
right.
That's
Mhm.
impressive.
The Holy Grail.
Right. And it's just like, but again, it's like I need to go excuse me. It's like I need to go back there again. And it's like I've already reached out there. I'm like, hey, I go, what's next Saturday, the 11th look like? Can I come back? It's like I want to like really see what I caught, and if I can catch it again or get some kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Validation.
Yes, thank you. Validation of like, hey, did I capture you? And from like what people are saying, it's like the height of a kid. And we did get some interaction in this one room with the child spirit saying he wanted me to stay in the room.
Oh, gotcha. Wow, that is truly incredible.
What is the history of that house, that location?
So it was built back in, was it like 1898? It was like the first house on the block, but like what the owner said, it wasn't really the first house on the block. It was a house that was built on top of a house.
Oh,
and it like police officer used to live there, and it was like a funeral parlor, and like family lived there, and it's just, I'd have to go back and like listen to what is history, but there's like 120 some years of history in that house.
Wow, that's great.
And like there was like a swimming pool across the street where somebody passed away, and they brought him into the house, and
wow.
yeah.
Sounds like an amazing place to.
It's a beautiful house. The house is amazing.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Maybe you go back a few more times, prove to them it's haunted. Maybe they will open it up to investigations.
Well, and it's like they said that they've like had a team go in there before with the psychic medium, and he said the medium won't have anything to do with the house anymore. She won't go back.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
huh.
Yeah. This is from when you were talking about Edinburgh. Oops. Talking about that kitchen area. Tanya and Misty got called away, like come follow us type of thing. So they did. And they ended up getting bopped in the head
Okay.
because they were back where the maintenance room.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they got bopped in the head like they had went too far.
Okay.
Type of thing, like get out of here type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then that hallway too, leading up to the maintenance closet, that is like the darkest spot in the whole manor. It's like
It's
just like it could be middle of the day and it's like pitch black down there. And it's just like it just seems like the darkness comes to you.
Yeah. It's pitch black in there. It really is.
Yeah.
For sure. Edinburgh is actually where I cut my very first EVP.
Yep. Sure was.
The very first. And so that was one of those things like you were talking about. When you hear it, you don't really know what you're hearing. So then you send it out to everybody and be like, what is going on here? But yeah, we caught it in Jerry's room.
Okay.
And it's on the page. It says something like happier in the afterlife.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was crazy.
That is a class. Yeah.
That same time we were there, like we were just getting set up and putting our equipment. My daughter was in the kids' room and she had the wherewithal to put her phone up on the corner of one of the dressers recording stuff. And I don't know where I was. I was maybe down in the boiler room or outside. I can't remember. But like everybody else was outside. And you hear clear as day on the video a little girl say, hello. And it was just like, I'm like, that's, another great piece of evidence.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, but makes that investigation worth it, even if you don't get a whole lot through the night, just an key or a shadow or something, it makes it worth the whole night.
And it's like, for me going into an investigation, I go in there with the mindset that, nothing's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, if you go in there with like high expectations and then nothing happens, you're going to be like, why did I just, go here? But it's like, if you go in with no expectations and something happens, your mind's just going to be blown.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, be open-minded.
Yeah.
So that brings me back to, you talk about your daughter using her phone to record. What type of equipment do you have? Do you have a lot? Or you just use the basic? Because some of our podcasts, we try to talk to the younger people who are just starting out and getting, into the paranormal field. So we tried to give them some advice on what kind of equipment to use or what they may have or how to get started. So you got any advice or tell us what equipment you have?
So we have a couple music boxes, REM pod, EMF recorder, EVP recorder. Then she has dowsing rods. God, what else do we have? I think that's basically it. We don't have a super lot of equipment. Okay. And a lot of the time we'll go in there, it's like to locations. I just really seem not to use it. It's just kind of like, put a piece of equipment here and there. Mm-hmm. It's like, I just kind of like to investigate really without a lot of equipment. Like my team member, Courtney, she's got a ton of equipment. She's like the equipment guru. So it's like my main go-to is like the REM pod. And then my daughter, she's just got, she likes her EMF detector and her dowsing rods. And that's really all she likes to use.
Cool.
Keep it simple.
Sometimes I think it also depends on the location. Because if it's a location with a lot of old history, they're not going to know what the new things are, like REM pods and stuff like that. So they're not going to want to touch them. Where if you, go with more of the old school thing, like a dead bell or, something that is or reminds them of their time, they're more apt to use it or, like manipulate it or whatever the case is. So
Exactly.
But yeah, I like to just, sometimes like we're in an investigation, I'll separate from like the group. Like we were at Madison Seminary last year on Memorial Weekend, and everybody was up in the attic. I went in the one room that has the big map in the wall and just sat there for like an hour and a half and just listened and zoned out and kind of let the building come to me.
Correct. Yeah. So when we were in Madison Seminary, I was with another group, the attic. What we did was we talked to each other like it was a normal day, or we were patients up there. What would it be like, and we got more EVPs just by having a normal conversation than we did asking questions. Yeah, I really did work there. That place, we got two ladies that were chased down a hallway. Somebody chased them down the hallway. They came clear downstairs. So that was an active place, but that's one of those places where be like them. What was your day here? And that really was effective. So
then we were there too. We had, I think there was like 8 of us there, and like we ended up playing a game of hide and seek with the spirits. And my daughter and I, we were on the Civil War side hiding. She was on one side in a closet, and I was in the other side of the closet. And we heard somebody either walking up the stairs or walking down the stairs, and we thought it was a seeker. And after like 5 minutes, I'm like, okay, if she was up here, she would have been looking. And went up, there was like nobody there. And she swears that she never came up the stairs. So like, we heard somebody walking around, but it's just like, just having fun playing games with them is going to get them active too.
Sure. Madison Seminary is a good place to go. We'll need to look into doing that too. So going there because you guys will like Madison Seminary. It's really a cool place to be. So.
It is.
Have you, Matt? Have you ever did any cemeteries or anything like that?
So yeah, we kind of dabble. Like I'm from down in Red Wing, Minnesota, which is about a couple hours south of here. But further down, there's like Old Frontenac Cemetery. My daughter and I went down there last summer during the day, and had REM pod and she did some dowsing rod stuff. But we were only there for like maybe 10 minutes because the mosquitoes were just horrible. Like mosquitoes ran us out.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we want to, but it's like you just got to get that time of year where there's not the bugs, and you get carried away.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have interest in that. We haven't, well, I think Brenda, I think some of you guys have, I haven't yet. So I'm new to this too. From 2024 with Brenda and everybody. So yeah.
Right.
Yep. So what was your biggest nope moment?
Like how? Like in what context?
Like you were investigating somewhere and you were like, nope, and you walked away from it, left that room, or
that's a tough question because I don't think I've really gotten like run out of place or where I want to quit investigating, but I probably would say Old Mercy Hospital. There was one floor we were investigating on, and there was a bat. I'm just like, we're not gonna go back on that floor. It's like that might be really it. I haven't like had the big holy crap moment yet where it's like, okay, we need to leave. Where like I hear other teams, they get like run out of places. That hasn't happened to me yet, but it's happened to my daughter. We were at the Boyd House. Was it August of 2024? We got there about 7:00, and we set up equipment, and we are going to do an abandonment session. So we just went, walking around the neighborhood. Came back at 8:00. Started investigating. she started not to feel that good. About, I think it was 9 or 9:30. We were doing a spirit box session, and she got Jesus and the devil across it. And then she's like, I just don't want to be here anymore. And then at 10 o'clock, they have the curfew siren went off. That was it. She was done. So we packed up and left after only 2 hours. As soon as we got outside and on the road, she felt totally fine.
Oh,
So there was something there that was affecting her that she just couldn't, didn't want to stay. Not for sure what it was.
yeah.
And when that happens, it's best to step away.
Right, for sure.
Definitely is. So yeah.
The Old Mercy Hospital, was that the one here in Iowa,
Yep.
in Oskaloosa?
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes
gotta love
complete
that.
with bats. Complete with bats.
Yeah,
And it's like, I even think so. I was there with my nephew and a friend, and one of us left a flashlight in that room. We're like, yeah, we're just gonna leave it. We're not going back after it.
we were sitting on the second floor in the hallway, and this brush of cold air went by me, and I'm like, do y'all feel that? And Missy's like, I think it was a bat. And I'm like, I don't know, like that's awfully low, whatever. But on the video, it's definitely the bat.
It's there. Yeah.
It's like,
It's definitely the bat.
again, it's like
I was trying to ignore them. I was just trying to be focused, and I was like, I don't want to look at the bats, because if I look at the bats, then it's done for me.
It's like, I don't mind the bats if you're like in a bigger location like Waverly, because it's like they're gonna go somewhere else. But like when you're in a smaller space like that and they have nowhere to go, they're just gonna keep going after you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I ran into one. Yeah. I ran into one at Beatty Mansion in the basement too. So.
Oh yeah. Misty wants to know: do you do anything before and after going to an investigation, like protection?
So really, we don't really do anything before we go in, but like, we'll have crystals with us. Like I'll have like black tourmaline in my pocket, or like another crystal. And my daughter always has crystals with her as well. But it's like our kind of ritual when we leave a location. We stand in the entryway and we just talk to spirit, saying, you cannot leave with us. You're not welcome to come home or attach yourself with any of us. You have to stay here. That's really all we do.
Okay.
And have you ever had anything follow you home from any location, or?
We have not.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's good. We haven't either, which, well, that one has, but we haven't. So where all do you travel to? I mean, you said you've been out to Ohio.
Everywhere.
You've been to Iowa.
You've been
to Waverly.
Iowa, South Dakota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, West Virginia. I've been a little bit of everywhere.
Wow.
Where in South Dakota have you gone?
We last March went to the Walnut House.
Really?
I'm gonna have to write it down.
Write it down.
That's why I'm like, wait a minute.
It's a really small house. Again, it's like probably no more than 4 people, if that. It's like that small.
Okay.
But yeah, that's in Yankton, South Dakota.
I'm always looking for new locations, and it seems like when I put in certain states, I don't get much.
Right, there are some states that are like that.
Yeah.
And then
Ohio has a lot of haunted places. So.
Ohio does, for sure. Have you been to Fairfield?
We haven't investigated there. We were there last summer for the FCI Con.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the places we haven't investigated yet.
Be ready.
being able to be a person to just sit and listen and wait for it to come alive that's a perfect location for that. Because
Okay.
we were in there investigating. Tim and I were. My husband was out there on business, and Tim came out, and um, there were several of us, and there was a little bit of this going on, but not a lot. And Tim was like, "Let's just go and just sit." And when we sat and we just listened, like you just
Right.
started hearing noises. We had something come charging at us up the hallway. We never did figure
Yeah.
out what that was, but like it
Right.
was coming charging at us. So yeah, being able to be a person that can sit and listen
Yep.
without doing a lot of talking and stuff, that definitely is a good location for
Mhm.
Okay.
for sure.
And go in small groups. Go 2 or 3 people and just go in your part of the building. It's big
Yeah.
enough, you can't cross contaminate. It's like 20,000 square feet. It's huge.
Yeah.
3 floors. So go, I'd say 2 or 3 people and go somewhere all by yourself and just do your own investigation, and you'll get a lot more activity. I've been there
Okay.
4 times, and believe me, you will not be disappointed. I'll go back there again. That place is really, really active.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it
you
is.
stand by yourself, and literally you'll start hearing talking, furniture moving around on the floors above you. Just stand still in a stairwell.
Oh yeah, I hear so many great stories.
It's incredible. It really is.
Yeah, that whatever came charging at us up the hallway, I was actually backing up because I was going to run up the stairs
For sure.
because it
Mhm.
was so fast and so loud, and you couldn't see, like
Correct.
there was nothing there.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
I thought for a second, I'm like, it's gonna get me before I even get to the stairs. So I just stayed.
And
Um,
we spent a half hour debunking what was that noise, and we never did figure it out. Never did.
yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, we went and we looked in every room and was making sure it wasn't an animal, and
Correct.
yeah, it was crazy. And as fast as it started, it stopped.
Okay.
And like that was the only interaction we had with it, like all night long.
Correct.
But
Interesting.
it literally sounded like something was trying to claw its way out
Okay.
of something.
Oh, wow.
And yeah. He goes, that place is going to scare the crap out of you. I said, good, it needs to happen. And then it did. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Some
So
crazy stuff.
so where would you go back to? I mean, Edinburgh Manor, obviously you want to go back to Edinburgh Manor.
Yep.
Is there any other locations that actually piqued your interest or got your attention to a point where, yes, I'm going to go back there because I need to? I know you saw a shadow on the stairs in the Boyd Mansion, and Edinburgh Manor is a special place for you. Is there anywhere else for us or people watching that you say we would go back to that would draw you back?
So one location that I'm on the fence if I want to go back to or not in like a negative way, but like last summer we investigated Poasttown Elementary School,
Oh,
and in the 2 years I've been investigating, the best investigation experience I've ever had. It's like so far it's like you can't top it, but it's like
Oh.
do I want to go back?
uh-oh.
Because it's like, what if I go back and nothing happens? Because it was like such a great experience. It's like I just can't top it. So it's like I want to go back, but then again, I don't want to go back.
Gotcha. Been
So
to Poasttown, so
you know, it's one of those mixed ones where it's like, as I said, it's such a great investigation, and it's like I don't know if it can ever top that. What happened there? It's just so unreal.
Hmm.
yeah.
But then another location that I know I want to get back to is Old Hospital on College Hill. It just like, again, we were there last summer, the day after Poasttown, and I didn't really get to investigate too much because my daughter, she wanted to go to sleep. So I was like, because she was kind of worn out. So I went in the doctor's house and slept with her. And some things happened at Old Hospital. And it's like, it's like calling me back. So it's like, I don't know when I'm going to get back, but I know we're going back.
Okay.
With that being said, um, how how often do you do like a back to back investigation?
Not, we did last year. We did our big road trip, which was a lot. We did Waverly, Post Town, and Old Hospital back to back to back. Well, actually, no, we did 4. So we did ISS and Billy Creek.
Wow.
And then we had a day off. Then we did Waverly, Post Town, and Old Hospital. So that like road trip was
A lot.
a little
Holy
over aggressive. So it's like we try not to do back to backs as much anymore. We got like one this month, but that'll be our only back to back all year. So kind of trying to shy away from that just because of the sleep factor, the travel factor, and
Sure.
all that.
Do you feel on those investigations that like you're more open or you're more on edge, so every little thing bothers you more, or do you feel that being like run down, you're just like, so you don't really know if a lot actually happened?
So for me, that doesn't really bother me because like I can get by with like 4 or 5 hours of sleep and be fine. So for like that, it's just like I'm normally like if we investigate to like 3, 4 in the morning, and I get a little bit of sleep, I'm good to go. But then like my daughter, she doesn't seem to like sleep that much when we're on location unless we're like in a hotel. So that's why I'm kind of like trying to shy away from that just to make sure like everybody's fresh, not run down, and not on edge.
Makes sense.
Yep, definitely, definitely, for sure, for sure. And not only do you do investigations, but you also have a photography business that you do,
Yep.
correct? And you're doing that. Um, is if I remember correctly, that's pretty much open. So, like, if teams wanted to do a photo shoot with you, that would be a possible opportunity.
Yep. Yeah. So like the last, what has it probably been year, I haven't really done much photography. I've kind of taken a little bit of break from it just because of like, the podcasts, the investigations and work and all that, but it's still there. It's like, if teams, wanted an on location photo shoot or just a photo shoot for the merch, that option's always there.
Okay.
Which is really cool. His pictures are really good, by the way. I have checked him out. I have seen them, which is awesome.
And it's like, in a way too, it's like I had an incident with one of my hard drives like a couple years ago where I like lost all my pictures for like 12 years. And it's just like, so my entire portfolio is gone and try rebuilding.
Oh,
it's like, do I really want to keep doing this? Because like,
Wow.
I don't have anything, and then trying to rebuild it. And that's like so much with everything else going on. So it's like, why put it on the back burner for a little bit? And
I got you.
You mentioned that you did Billy Creek and ISS last year. I remember. Yep. I remember your post being out there. What were those investigations like for you guys?
So ISS, we were just there during the day. So mainly what I did is like I did an on-site podcast and just kind of like, roamed around taking pictures. And so I kind of just let the team do their own thing. And at one point, my daughter and a couple of our team members were up on the 5th floor of the tall building. I can't remember what it's called.
Adams Hall.
Yeah, they were up there and they had something growl at them or hiss, and they like ran out of that. And of course, she couldn't figure out how to get the camera to work. So she goes, "My dad's gonna be so mad at me because I didn't record it." I'm like, it is what it is. And so
Correct.
that was just kind of like more, not really an investigation, but just kind of roaming around and interacting with the building. And then Billy Creek, again, it was kind of a different night. It was, it was really quiet. We didn't really get too much. It's like we did get some stuff from the schoolhouse and the governor's mansion, but nothing really that stood out.
Okay.
But it was just like, actually being there, experiencing that location, because we never been there before.
Right.
Sure.
You didn't even get anything in the Civil War house?
Not really. It was like a super quiet night.
They must have all went to ISS or something, because Tim and I went out there last year when we went to Ashmore Estates. We went ahead and went over to Rockville, and we went to Billy Creek. And while at Billy Creek, we found out that ISS was right down the road, so we went there too. And we were kind of walking around, but back over in the Civil War house for us, there was some crazy stuff going on at 2 p.m.
Yes.
I mean, we felt furniture being drugged, like the floor was vibrating underneath of us, and heard people talking, and there was like nobody outside. I walked all the way around the house, like
nice.
There was nobody back there with us. It was crazy. So, and I know a lot of people will just rent Billy Creek just so they can do the Civil War house. That's why I was kind of surprised that it was on the quiet side. Maybe they do have nights where it's quiet.
Right.
That does happen. So.
Yeah,
for sure.
It does. But I'm always interested to see, where people go, kind of like what it was like for them when they're.
Yeah.
We did the same thing when we were at ISS. We just kind of did, a walkthrough. We had like an hour and a half before they closed. So we were beef-eating it, speed walking through all the buildings. And we only hit a couple of floors in the Adams Hall. We didn't realize, we were like, oh, it goes up another floor. And then we went up that one, and he goes, oh, it goes up another floor, but the door was closed.
Yeah.
So we didn't realize that it's actually like 5 floors.
Correct.
That it was that big of a building.
Okay. Looking forward to going back.
Yeah. We go at the end of the month in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting for sure.
For sure.
So I was going to ask Matthew if you had any experiences paranormal wise as a child. Did you have anything?
Not that I'm aware of that I can remember.
Okay. Yeah, I was just curious.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some of us do, and that's why we get interested in it.
Yeah.
Good. Yep. So, you have any questions for us, Matthew?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. All right.
When you're looking for a location to go to, do you go out there and see what you can find? Do you ask friends or other teams what locations they go to? Do you follow YouTuber? Like, how do you find your locations that you take off and go to?
So a lot of times, I'll see posts on Facebook. It's like, oh, we investigated this place, or, I'll see new places pop up. I got like a list that's probably like over 400 locations, like around the country. And it's like, it's just kind of like word of mouth, basically. And then I'll kind of do a little looking into the location, not too much, because I kind of like going into the locations without knowing much of the history, and then like, finding out on site.
That was going to be my next question. If you deep dive into it, or if you just go, for me, a lot of locations that we go to is because I've seen them, like YouTubers or whatever. I've seen locations that they've done. I'm like, oh, that looks like a cool place to go. Or other teams going to different locations. I think in May we got a location coming up, and it's relatively new. I don't think it's been open very long, but since I've like started this page and I've started doing like location drops and gaining followers and following
Yeah.
everybody, like locations are just like popping up left and right. Or when somebody's like, "Hey, what's in this area?" and they like somebody will list a whole list, like I'll screenshot those, and then I go out and I start researching those to see if they actually do allow investigations or whatever. Um, I actually just picked up more information on another one that's here in Iowa. What did I say that one was, you guys? Is it
Columbus
the
City.
Gibson? The
What's that?
Gibson, the one that I just mentioned yesterday or the day before. It's
Oh,
in Marion, but it's
yeah,
like the
Marion. Yeah.
Gibson Victorian
Yeah,
or something like that.
the mansion
Oh,
up there.
yeah.
Yeah. So I've seen it like on Iowa's 13 most haunted list or whatever.
Okay.
But I finally came across it and went on their Facebook page and reached out to them yesterday
Nice.
and stuff like
Very good.
that.
Look that
So,
up.
yeah.
Yeah, I
It's,
kind of like up here, I'm kind of looking to more like Minnesota locations that no one's really investigated too much. Just reach them like, hey, can I come in and investigate? Even if it's only for like a half an hour, just to come in and see. Because like Minnesota is just like so shut down about the paranormal. A lot of these places you reach out, they're like, nope, we don't allow it. We don't believe in it.
Right.
Can't do it. Or there's like this one place I reached out to. Well, if you want to come in and do anything, it's like $2,000 for like an hour. I'm like,
Holy crap.
my pockets aren't that deep.
No lie.
do you have a tour that I can just kind of take the tour for like 10, $20? And
Why
then I'll get
doesn't-
my vibe off of the tour.
Yeah, no
come
lie.
in for a half an hour. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
And there's like this one location I reached out to. They go, oh, you can come in for the tour, but we're only letting one team come in and investigate our location for the next 4 years. We're not allowing anybody else. I'm like, well, that's
no
kind of
kidding.
weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm
Wow.
like, all right. They
That's
go,
crazy.
circle back with us in a few years and we'll see what happens then. I'm like, okay.
That's
Oh, that's
crazy.
crazy.
Have you been to that orphanage that's up there? That's haunted.
I have not.
What is it? Something Peg.
Which one?
The-
Say that again?
The infamous ghost hunter that nobody likes went there, but it's something Peg. But
You're not talking about No Pemming, are you?
yeah, that's it. No Peg.
That's an old sanatorium. You cannot get in there anymore. That place is so decayed and rotted. It's like you'd probably fall through like all the floors.
Really?
Yeah, that place has been shut down and gated up for probably 5 years now.
Wow.
That's
Holy crap.
interesting. Yeah.
But yeah, yep, that was it.
Okay.
That was it.
That was
But
it.
I drive, it's up in Duluth, and I've, drive by it like 4 or 5 times a year. I'm just like, if I could just get on the property and take pictures of the outside of the building, I'd be happy. But you can't even do that.
Yeah, I was going to say, it. Even if you could be outside the building.
Sure.
I'll have to try to look that one up and see if it's on one of his
It
series.
is.
Is it?
I don't know what season it is, but yeah, I remember him going
That's
there. Da, 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 da. Well, squirrel.
What?
I said
Forgot what you
squirrel
were gonna
because
say.
I totally forgot what question I was going to ask.
Oh,
Oh,
I was saying my dog came running over here.
so
He goes on cue to squirrel.
Nice.
right. I do know the hospital on College Hill. I do know about that one. I would actually like to do that. I would like to, like plan a Texas trip and then, hit up a few locations in Texas and then,
Mhm.
but like everybody would end up having to use like their vacation time to go
Yeah.
do that. And it's
Right.
like, do they really want to use vacation time to do that? I mean,
Right.
yeah, we're ghost hunting, but is that how somebody really wants to use their vacation time?
Right.
We just have
Tim
to
and I
figure
were
it
like,
all
Yeah.
out, who can
yeah,
do
Tim
what,
and
So,
I,
and then
yeah.
you
So that
never know.
Matthew knows, it's called the Granger House. It's in Marion, Iowa. So
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Marion's like a half hour from Edinburgh Manor, so
Okay.
that's the way. I got grandkids that live up there. Maybe I'll
the
drive
Granger.
by and check it out here. I'm going up there on the 18th. Maybe I'll drive by and check it out, see
Oh.
what it is. So I got a friend who just texted me messaged me here. I grew up with her and graduated high school. Says the house that she grew up in is haunted, very haunted. They had paranormal investigators there, and the new people that own it still say it's very haunted. I'm gonna find out where it's at. So there might be one
There
right
you
here
go.
in Winterset. So I live in Winterset, hometown of John Wayne. There's my plug. Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Get that in there.
He doesn't get
So
paid for it, but he always says it.
Hey,
yeah,
you gotta do what you gotta do.
I need to get people to recognize it at the John Wayne Museum and what I'm doing here. So they can do
Love
that.
John. Yeah. Well, we can go and do the museum and then do an investigation.
There you
Hey,
go.
I don't think they would want to do
I'm
that.
ready. I'm ready. I got the
hey,
bug. I'm ready. I know I have to miss a couple here coming up, but
yeah,
then I'm on
true.
for a while anyway, and then there's some other
Yeah.
things, but yeah.
Right.
I know I got to miss one now too. So grandson's graduating. So
What
Mhm.
projects or upcoming investigations is on the roster for Nightmare Explorers?
So we got the 24th and 25th of this month will be at the Haunted 1861 Masonic Lodge and then Edinburgh. And what I'm kind of really looking forward to those two investigations, I have a couple friends coming with that are not into the paranormal at all. So it'd be kind of cool to see what their interactions are and what they get. They've been on an investigation with us before at the Sheldon Theater in Red Wing, but that's kind of like tame compared to other locations. So it's like, he goes, "Do you have any advice for me going into Edinburgh?" I'm like, "Yeah, bring an extra pair of pants."
For sure.
Because
And
he lives a little bit of a sheltered life,
uh,
and so he's probably gonna have the crap scared out of him.
yeah,
Oh, cool.
probably.
Yeah.
And Matthew had brought up, we're going to do a little experiment. We're going to be at Indiana State on the same night that you guys are at the
61
1861
Masonic Lodge.
Masonic. We're going to call each other and we're going to see what we can rile up on each other's end. So,
Cool.
yeah, that'll be really cool.
Yeah, because
That'll be
that Masonic Lodge, I was there. That was my third ever investigation, and that night had the most intense Estes session that I wasn't under, but I was sitting at the same table as the person I was under, and for like the whole time I felt like I was in a trance. I knew what was going on, but I couldn't move. And then I also heard something running, like everybody was upstairs on the top floor, and I was downstairs checking out, and like back in the, I think it's the blue room, I heard something crawling and running across the floor. So that location is very crazy.
Come to the conclusion during this podcast that Matthew likes to wander off a lot by himself.
Yes, I do.
One more thing. I know back in December, you actually was able to go pick up and meet with Patty Negri.
Yes.
Which was awesome.
Wow.
Those of you guys that don't know who she is like a fantastic medium. What was it like interacting with her? And like, I can only imagine that she's like a super sweet person.
Oh yeah. So I actually met her about a year ago at a Paracon in Eau Claire, and I was like emailing her for like the month before that about setting up and doing a live podcast with her. Here driving over to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, I'm like, oh my God, in about an hour and a half, I'm going to be meeting Patty Negri, and that night doing a podcast with her. You can just imagine the nerves. I was just like a bundle of nerves. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing?
I bet.
It's like when I saw her, walked up to her, she like gave me the biggest hug. Like we've known each other for years. All the nerves just like melted away. They were like gone.
That's so cool.
And we were going to do the podcast at the convention center, but it was like a little colder there. The vibe didn't seem right. She goes, well, let's go back to the hotel and do it in the lobby area. Well, in her hotel, there was a Mexican wedding going on. So it's like, well, we can't really do it in the lobby because it's so loud. We ended up doing it in her hotel room. And, it's just super down to earth, great person. And, we stayed in touch leading up to December. We text each other still almost every day to this point. And, we picked her up from the airport that December, drove her down to Red Wing for this event, did a live seance with her, gallery reading, investigated with her. It's just like she's been a friend forever.
That's cool.
Super nice, down to earth. And going to be investigating with her again a couple times in the next year. And
that's awesome. I'm so jealous.
Really cool.
Yeah, she's just like so awesome. It's like, I was like texting her, like I haven't texted her today, but I was texting her yesterday. But yeah, I said it's almost an everyday thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she just seems like she's a lovely individual.
Yeah,
That's
and she's
cool.
been on the podcast like I don't know how many times, like probably 5, I think.
That is really cool.
It is.
So cool. All right. Where can everybody find you?
So, trying to stay off Facebook just because Facebook's Facebook, but main places are Nightmare Explorers on Instagram and TikTok. Just started an account on X, and then they can subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We got all the podcasts and investigation videos on there. Those are the main places.
Awesome.
I was going to say, because if you actually try to look for Nightmare Explorers, they don't exist on Facebook. They really don't. A little bit, but not a lot. I only know Matthew because him and I have we've been chatting back and forth on and off since 2024.
Yeah, it's been a while.
He's like, hey, I got an investigation coming up. Do you want to go? And I'm like, I would love to go, but no, I can't go. And
it's all about the schedules.
Yeah. Because he had invited me back in December when Patty Negri was here, and I know you invited me for the end of June, and I'm like, that's our anniversary, and we're going on, our honeymoon. One of these times we'll actually be able to get together and do a collab with your team and stuff. That would be a good experience.
That would be.
It would be great.
So,
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else that you would like to talk about? He has his own podcast that he does as well.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I think, wow, what was it? Tonight was like the 114th podcast I've done in the last year or so.
Oh, that's impressive.
He always records his, and then he puts them out later, but he's always busy behind the scenes.
I got a full slate here up until July 2nd, and it's like, I have a lot of return guests on here, but everything between now and the end of June is like all people I've never had on before.
Oh, cool.
Which will be really good.
Cool.
Yeah. And I'm sure if you would want any other of our team on there, that they would come do a podcast with you as well.
All right, sounds good. And
Exactly.
I just
Sure would.
about a couple months ago, I did oh God, I can't even think anymore. A junior investigator podcast with my daughter and this girl Jada from out of North Carolina. Her and her mom have bloodline paranormal, and Jada, after she's done with high school, is going on for broadcasting and journalism. So I'm like, had the idea. I'm like, message her mom, like, hey, I'd like to have Jada come on and join the podcast as my co-host, to give her the opportunity to, interview people and get prepared for after high school. Mm-hmm. And she's been on like 10, 12 podcasts. And then, so as of April 1st, I'm like, okay, Jada, you're leading the podcast. I'm going to be the co-host now. So actually, still my podcast or our podcast, but I'm letting her lead it as it's hers. So I'm just kind of sitting in the background as a co-host now.
Oh, cool.
Is Jada the one that was on the podcast with me and you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
she's pretty cool.
She is doing such an amazing job.
Yep. She's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah. So like tonight with the podcast with Josh, I let her lead that. Mm-hmm. And then we did a podcast last night. She led it. And then we just did a fun one. My team member Courtney and I on Wednesday night about cryptids. I'm like, okay, Jada, this is your podcast. Take off with it. She had one little hiccup. She goes, welcome to Nightmare Stories of the Paranormal. I'm like, nope.
Nightmare stories of what?
The paranormal, yeah.
I know, but you're like, the nightmare stories of what?
Yeah, but no, she's doing awesome, and I'm glad to give her that opportunity. And she did a podcast a couple months ago, or not a month ago, when Patty Negri was on there. We didn't tell her who the guest was. You should have seen the look on her face.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
She's just and she didn't realize what was going on at first. I'm like, okay, Jada, are you not realizing what's going on here? I go, oh, by the way, your mom knew about this for weeks. You got to have fun. You got to keep it a secret sometimes.
Yeah,
who the guest is.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yep, it is very true. All right. Nobody else has any questions or comments for Matthew? I do appreciate you coming on and being our guest. It's been fun.
It's kind of weird being on the other side.
Oh, right.
I don't get to do it that often.
Actually being the guest.
Yeah.
Instead of the interviewers.
Yep. It's only my fourth time being on the other side.
Oh, cool.
Tim's like, yeah, I'll do the podcast with you. So now it's kind of like I don't think either one of us is the host or the co-host. But I'm like, hey, what questions do you got? I'll shut up for a while.
Yeah.
I've been chatting for 5 years.
And we share the podcast because we're both big ghost hunters, man. If we could do it every day, we would do it every day. We just literally would. As far as that goes, it's so much fun to do, and we have great times going out and going to different places investigating. And so we're starting to get more and more evidence as we go along. This McPike Mansion we just went to, man, I bet I have like 30 EVPs. Haven't even gone through my camera and my camcorder yet, but holy moly.
Oh, yeah.
The place is really, really active. So it's really
an amazing place.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like a couple weeks ago,
we were at
the Sally house, and that was like, it was a very interesting night. We had a ball get thrown down the stairs, and we all freaked out. It's like, okay, that just happened, and a spirit wasn't too happy with me. It was, but not in a bad way. But it's just we're always learning as we go.
Correct.
It's like not anybody does it the right way. Everybody has their own ways, and you learn from everybody else. And it's like, okay, this didn't work the last investigation. We'll try something new the next time.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes you go and sit all night and nothing happens. So, nature of the beast at times. So,
for sure.
Anyway, it was nice meeting you, Matthew.
You
And,
too.
Yeah, very nice meeting you.
and my sign off is you want to go ghost hunting? Get in the truck. So,
There you go. Nice
Get
one.
the truck, Matthew.
So McPike is very affordable. They are doing renovations, so like the money that you pay to hunt or to investigate actually goes towards the restoration process.
That's
And
awesome.
so, like when we went there 2 years ago, we had one room on the first floor and we had the cellar area, and like that was basically it. But when we were there, we had a chair fly off of it. It was straddled and it came flying off. We saw a shadow and stuff. When we went back this time, and Tim went with us, you actually have the run of the whole first floor now and the cellar. But those two floors are way enough
correct.
for evidence that you don't even really notice that you don't have access to any of the other parts of the house.
Good.
Okay.
At this point,
Hmm.
and it's only $30 a person. Like it's
Yeah.
That's
Right.
not bad at all.
Exactly.
no, it's super affordable, and
Correct.
yeah, the activity level it's just it's crazy, and
Nice.
Yeah.
outside
It
is
is.
almost just as active as inside.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
It's an amazing place. It really is. Oh,
once they get the roof fixed, they'll be able to get the rest of the floor joists done on the second floor,
Okay.
and then like
It'll
that'll
open.
open up, so then
Sure.
it'll have more. But they got to get the roof. I think they started on the roof today,
yeah, I think so.
but
Yeah.
I mean,
She did
it's
a post about it.
still worth going.
Sure.
For
And
sure.
wait till you hear the EVPs I got from being at the top of the stairs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. So we kind of need to get some of that stuff put together before our podcast on Wednesday, so we can share that
Yeah.
out and be able to do more videos, because my videos currently are all of my evidence. Like I don't have evidence from like
Okay.
Tim or from anybody else, so we really kind of need to get together and get more evidence put together. So when I
Yeah.
put videos
We
together,
Yeah.
we need to do that. So
but yeah. So anyway, thank you guys so much for
Yes,
joining,
thank
Matthew.
you.
Thank you so much for being a guest. Again, he does have podcasts that come out. Make sure you're following him on YouTube at Nightmare Explorers, so you guys can watch those episodes when he posts them. They're a lot of fun as well. And we will be back Wednesday with our review from McPike.
Yep.
And then Kate will be here, Spirits of Marco. I'm so excited to learn more about that location.
correct.
Other than that, y'all have a great week. Have a great Easter.
You as well.
Thanks for joining.
Bye.
Okay.